Hey, y'all, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, y'all. My name is Elle, and this is my perspective. Okay, so today I would like to address a couple of comments that have been floating around in the comment section for a while, as well as some comments that were left today. Um, what happens is if I answer a comment in that one video, a lot of people may miss it. And so instead of me addressing the two comment sections, the two comments that arrived today, I'll just put it on video. And those comments have actually been something that I've heard before. So let's just put it here. The first one is by um, Eric Hudgens. I believe I said your name right. If not, I apologize. Okay. Please stop being so friendly. Okay. So again, I'm not taking offense to any of the comments that I am addressing. So stop being so friendly. Please stop being so friendly. So it's part of who I am, right? It's just me. And I've heard it before. I think I've heard that about 4 or 5 times in my life. So about one per decade, right? So it is, excuse me, I believe that, especially from the other people, I believe it is coming from a great place, right? A place of love, and people are just like, look out for yourself, like watch out, and so forth and so on. But I love being friendly. I love being nice. It is who I am. I see people as people, right? I don't necessarily see the hidden agendas and all that jazz I'm attached. So a personal a homeless person, right? I'm going to say hey to them the same way that I would say hey to anybody else. Like the homeless person is no less of a person than anybody else. Movie theaters, oh my goodness, y'all, movie theaters, what the heck, the heck of the heck? Like, people would always, not people, not always, but it's been a thing where people are just like, leave that, like talking about your pop and popcorn, at the end of the movie, like leave that. That's their job. The hell, that is not their job, right? To me, I feel like their job is something more along the lines of, hey, she had some popcorn, nachos, whatever she had, and she took all her trash and she took it and to put in that big old bin that she walking past on her way out the movie, the same way she passed it when she came into the movie. So to me, that's what that does. Now, sister girl right here, sometimes I get to eat that popcorn. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I drop one, right? Or something like that happened, or like say somebody came to the scary movie and they knew they the ass was scared of everything, like, and then a scene comes and they jump and the popcorn go places. Like to me, that's what they can clean up, right? You can clean up those, because please don't expect me to be on all fours picking up some popcorn kernels that I didn't drop during a movie session, right? But I will pick up my big trash. And so again, seeing them as people, right? And just seeing people as people like that, people are like, oh my goodness, like, why would you do that? That's nice and all this other. No, no, no. Like front facing people, like they go through a lot of shit, right? And they're probably underpaid. Now, let's take you to situation area at the VA. Okay, so a lot of you know that I worked at the VA, and that a lot of people actually started finding and seeking me out at the emergency department. Okay, so I'm gonna take you to I say this is my second day in the ER, first or second day. I don't remember which one. So they had the night person, the AOD was the one who was actually training me, right? AOD during the daytime, because we didn't have daytime AODs except on weekends and holidays. Otherwise, it's night shift, right? Second and third shift and holidays and weekends. And so he was training me because no one else in the entire hospital could train me to work in the ER. Like, what in all get out, right? And so he was happy to train me because that meant that they could stop working during the daytime and start working at night. Okay, somebody comes in and he has printed up the paperwork and he's just like, okay, can you go ahead and do what needs to be done? Right. And so this is me checking somebody in for the first time. Yeah. The person who came in for the first time was escorted by two police officers. And so I get all the stuff that I'm supposed to get, and I go out there on the other side of the counter and I'm just like, hey, hey, I'm addressing the police officers. And then I address the person. I'm like, hey, um, can you tell me your last name and the last four of your social security number, please? And so he was like, you really asking me that? Yeah, I'm supposed to. I can't put this on without it. And so he was like, nobody asked me that. They always just put the armband on me. Why don't you just put my armband on? Are you new? Yep, I'm new. And so he's like, I figured you were. I hadn't seen you before. You're new to this area and you're not scared of me? Why would I? I know some stuff popped up on that computer. He was like, I know some stuff popped up on that computer when you pulled me up, but see, I didn't pull them up. My coworker pulled them. So I didn't know what he was talking about. He was just like, you're not scared of anything that's in there? No? Um, can you tell me your last name and the last four of your social, please? It's so, he was just like, it's this and this. He was like, but people don't talk to me. So that's how I knew that you were new because you're actually talking to me and you're not scared. You're not even intimidated by me. Like you're not like I have two police officers by me and you aren't intimidated. Like usually what they would do is they would put the armband there and make the nurse put the armband on me. And I'm like, oh, no, I have no problem putting an armband on you. Now, I do put it on really quickly, so I won't be touching you and you won't be touching me, but that's about it. So it's just, I like you. And so he ended up actually coming back through the ER a week later just to talk to me. He didn't need to check in. He didn't have any purpose of being at the VA, just swing him out to say, hey, right? And so it's those kind of things. Another one. Oh my goodness. So him and another one for real, like dead serious. Like they would come through and they would make threats and so forth and so on all the time. And one of them would always apologize. Like if he knew that I heard what he was doing or anything, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was not me. I was just upset. Like these people really upset me, but they don't see me the way you see me. And I'm like, oh, no problem. But don't be acting up in here. Don't be acting up in here because it's my job, okay? And I'm talking to them real, right? And then another one, he was really upset. He didn't really talk to me as much, but he started opening up because again, people see you and people see that you see them. So a lot of times they'll start opening up and talking to you, which is cool. What we doing? We that stuff over there can wait. Like I'm here all day. Like and then when they don't get finished today, can get done tomorrow, whatever the case is. And so, yeah, he was actually really upset because he had an issue, right? And what his issue was, his doctor was prescribing him meds that said not to be issued to someone who has these issues. So he was really upset. He tried to go talk to other people in the hospital. They weren't hearing him. So he was actually coming up because he was ready to do some damage, right? So I ended up talking to him and he calmed down and went ahead and got transportation to go back home and everything. And he was just like, I was dead ass serious. And he showed me his weapons. He was coming up to the VA to do some damage because the people that he was talking to didn't hear him, but I did. So that was my experience with a few people. It's just that they would come up to get ready to do some damage or come up with maybe less than ideal intentions because they were that frustrated by the system and what was happening to them. But they would allow me to chat with them or to bring them down or whatever. And so I mean, it all happens and it all stems from freaking being nice. Like, see people as people, right? Stop seeing people as numbers, as another form of payment or whatever the case is. Like, I don't know what goes on, but yeah, it's just that kind of thing. And, a lot more happened, but at the end of the day, all those things happened because they weren't being seen. Like a lot of those veterans were not being seen as people, right? They were just being pushed through or ignored or, you gonna do this or whatever the case is. And so that's not cool. So that right there, I have a whole lot of benefits to me just being myself than to not be myself, right? I feel like I would definitely feel some kind of way if I couldn't be nice, right? It's part of who I am. And I like being me. I like being me. I like being chipper. I like all that stuff. Now, a lot of times, the 9 to 5 jobs, I had to overly be chipper. Like, shit, I feel like I'm chipper enough. I feel like I'm happy enough. I feel like I'm upbeat enough, right? But there are some jobs where, excuse me, especially if it wasn't like a lot of Black people, you got to do some they it's a different kind of environment, right? And so you come in, let's say I come in and I'm in my normal voice, right? It's my normal voice. And I come in and I'm in normal voice. And it's just like, what's wrong? And it's just like, nothing. But your voice, you just sound so down. You sound like you're sad. And I'm like, it's my fucking normal voice. I'm like, oh, okay. No, 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 no. You mean, no, there's nothing going on. And it's just like, I don't want to walk around talking like that all day. I don't. But that is what they would be like, oh, no, no, because the other way, like, you're intimidating. I feel like you're angry. I feel like you need some time off or something. I don't know. Like I just don't know what to do and how to take that. And so it's just like you just got to do a lot. You got to do a lot more sometimes. Hair. Oh my goodness. I told y'all about the hair. Like shit, you can put your personality out there. You can be nice as I am. And then in the 9 to 5s, I have to be nicer. Like, oh my goodness, like, oh no, like just nice, kind of like raise your octave and all that. That right there. And then at the VA, I think I told you about the VA. The VA, I did it for a couple of years. And then after a couple of years, I wore my afro out for the first time. My afro was bigger than this, right? Because my hair was long. And so my afro was bigger than this. And it was just like, oh my goodness, like that is so intimidating and all this other stuff. It's just like, what? But you know who I am. Girl, I had another job where I had only been there a few months before I wore afro. And the boss actually came up and she was just like, oh my goodness, your hair. It looks like cotton candy or like the top of a Q-tip. Um, are you gonna be wearing your hair like that a lot? I don't know how it makes me feel. The fuck? It's fucking hair, right? Don't let me put on Bantu knots. Oh my goodness, right? And so I feel like all of these different things, it just to me comes back as you don't see me as a person if you allow my hair to scare you. My hair is done, right? My even in an afro, my hair is done. It's usually padded in the shape. Sometimes it does what it wants to do, but it be padded in the shape, right? And Bantu knots, y'all, Bantu knots is some parts that you got to part properly, right? And then you got to twist up the Bantu knots. Ain't no frizzy nothings hanging out. Bantu knots be on point. And so for people to be scared and intimidated and oh my goodness, all of a sudden I'm not the same person that I was just yesterday because of my hair. So yeah, seeing people and appreciating people as they are, um, not their situations or their clothing or their hairstyles and things like that. That's something that just, yeah, we can go real far into that. So yeah, just is what it is. So that right there, being friendly. Now I will say this. Now I know no one has said it. I know no one has said it, but I will say it for you because y'all know I am in the spiritual hippy dippiness. I feel like what you really want to say is not, excuse me, what Eric Hudgens and all the other people have said about please stop being so friendly. I believe what y'all want to say is, girl, where the fuck is your discernment, right? Have your discernment on, right? I know, right? I'm working on it. I know what the issue is and I'm working on it. So there you go. Thank you. Now, moving on to the next comment. So the next comment has been spoken about, I want to say, since the early part of 2023, right? And it has been brought up again and then again and then again. Today it was touched on. So people with my housing, when I'm looking for housing and the different obstacles that I have had with housing, house hunting, whatever you want to call it, right? And it's just like the shits that you've gone through, girl. Remember, when I do my videos, I want you to learn from me. Like I am saying stuff out here so that you can learn from me and do better, right? Now, with that being said, guys, I will say this. To me, when I pay somebody for a service, it is for convenience. If I pay to go get some Rappi or do anything, like all the different food places that I go to, it's for convenience. Like I'm either not able to fix the stuff like here in this hotel, like I have no heating elements, right? um, so I need to go pay for that every single day, right? So I'm paying for a convenience. I don't want to do it. Or maybe I'm paying for your knowledge. Maybe I feel like, I've observed you and you may have more knowledge than I have. So I'm paying for convenience still, right? I get to be lazy. In exchange, I'm gonna pay you to not be lazy, right? Like that's what I feel like I do when I pay somebody, right? And so let's move forward to my housing. So with my housing, I do want to get this straight. So in the way older comment that was the beginning of 23, it was mentioned like they listed all these people on YouTube, right? Um, all these people. And I actually follow all those people. So I knew who they were talking about, but they had said it. So I think it was basically like if you had used those resources that are out there free on YouTube, if you had used those resources or reached out to them and used them to help you with your housing or whatever the case is, you wouldn't have been in the situation that you're in. That was rude as shit, right? So, so again, um, later on, someone did ask something else. I forget what it was. And then the basic thing is are you girl, are you out here looking and doing all this shit by yourself? If you've missed any of my videos or me explaining, here it is. I'm gonna put it in this one. So yes, guys, I don't like to say any names because just like the one who was not so nice and basically saying if you would have used these people or whatever, then this wouldn't happen. Okay, so let me say it like this. If I did use any of those people, now I bet you're gonna be looking at them sideways and like they ain't no good, like you, whatever, whatever, right? I bet that's probably gonna be what you feeling, right? So let me say this, right? I'm gonna say this, and like to me, there's no win-win situation when somebody comes at me like that. Um, I did use paid services. Okay, I did. I also had real estate agents. I also had an attorney, right? And that shit still happened. So when people say that they are using paid services, okay, so did I. Okay. But shit still happened. No one is perfect. And I'm not pointing fingers at anyone or saying that anything is anyone's fault, which is why when I do the video, I'm telling you what to be mindful of and what you don't have to do and what is and isn't a thing, right? Because I paid for the convenience, I paid for that stuff, and I still had to learn those lessons. And so I am passing the lessons on to you. I didn't come out here being ass dumb, right? Like I didn't. So, but shit still happened. So that's why I put it in the videos. And I know that people want to judge, but to me, we ain't even go there. Okay, so that's that. So if you secure services of anyone, still be mindful, still listen to what other YouTubers are saying that are here, because I don't know if we are all out here just like looking for stuff on our own, right? I think that things have happened. And so we are telling you experiences and so forth so that you can learn from them, right? Um, then let's keep in mind back to intuition. Okay, so this one is from, I believe I'm saying this right, Tanya, the self-care maven. Okay, so she has said, uh, women have been conditioned to ignore their instincts even when the red flags are flashing in front of them. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let me read her whole comment and then I'll come back. Okay. So her whole comment says that sounds like a scam and setup. This is from the video. What other YouTubers won't tell you. My not so good experiences in Merida. So she's saying that sounds like a scam and setup. Women have been conditioned to ignore their instincts, and even when the red flags are flashing in front of them, sorry, women have been conditioned to ignore their instincts even when the red flags are flashing in front of them. That FB group sounds both problematic and dangerous in the sense that to diminish slash dismiss your experience leaves others, far less observant women, comma, to ignore a dangerous situation. I don't know why I said comma. I'm making the move myself, and we all need to hear the good and both of any place we choose to make a home slash base. I've heard too many positives and not enough balanced perspectives on moving abroad to Merida as a single woman. I didn't have that experience on my first scouting, but then again, I had Cartez Ross with me from Move Abroad and Thrive. Okay, and that's the end of her comment. So I will agree that a lot of times we do have our intuition, but we are ignoring our intuition. which brought me into the situation that I brought up. So with the second situation where I am looking for um, housing, I did not hire services the second time around, meaning um, location services. I did not hire any of those things. I did have a real estate agent, and the real estate agent, we were talking, we were communicating. She was asking, what all am I looking for? Price range, date, time, all the things. So we were having our communication, um, and so forth and so on. Now, this happened after I knew that my intuition said that I needed to be gone, right? And so everything was fine. Like I said in a comment, I said in a comment maybe last week, I was like, everything was fine until it wasn't, right? And so then it's just like the real estate agent stopped talking. Now there's different reasons that a real estate agent can stop talking, but I was feeling some kind of way, and I was just like, oh man, well I'm gonna find a place on my own. I don't need you type thing, right? Me in that different kind of energy, right? Different energies will allow your intuition to be shut down, kind of, sort of, right? And so you have this thing, this drive that you are now focused on, and you're now neglecting what your intuition said, right? So now I'm on this mission to find my place. I don't care. I don't need you, that kind of thing, right? But my intuition literally said that I needed to leave, right? And so me, oh my goodness, my intuition says that I need to leave. And I had this real estate agent, and now my real estate agent ghosted me. Okay, so let me just say that my real estate agent stopped talking to me. Like I should be like, oh my goodness, like that's a sign. Like I really shouldn't be here. But I didn't. Like I then put on this whole energy of, and I'm like, I'm gonna go find this place on my own, and I don't need nobody, and I'm cool and whatever, whatever. And so that's when, again, I'm still outside of my intuition, right? I missed it completely when she stopped talking to me. That man, like that's probably another sign that I probably shouldn't be here. I probably shouldn't even be looking for that. No, I was just like, no, I'm gonna find something anyway. So then I took it upon myself because I wanted to find places, and I wanted to start at a certain time, right? I wanted to start at a certain time, and I wanted to be done with this whole house hunting thing, right? I just me, right? Me. And then yeah, I forgot about the whole intuition thing that I said that right there. So so yeah, now I'm like, okay, moving forward, which I'm not moving forward yet. I'm moving forward in different ways. I'm not moving forward with housing, but moving forward, I would probably be comfortable with at least two real estate agents. Because what happens is you can have a real estate agent that you pay for, that you secure, whatever the case is, but your real estate agent may be working with more than one client, maybe working with you, but maybe looking in a certain area. Sometimes a real estate agent can have where, if your budget is between 12 and 15,000 pesos, but someone else that they've taken on is 24 to 30,000 pesos. Guess what? Your ass is getting left to the side, right? Even though you were there first, that other one gets that they're looking for something that's more. And if I'm looking for something that's more, guess what? My commission is going to be more. I'm going to be paid more off of this person than I am off of you. So I'm going to look for this person's house first before I look for yours. Oh, wait, both of y'all looking for a place at the same time? Oh my goodness. Both of y'all looking for the same exact thing? Oh my goodness. Like, huh, let me see what I can find for her and her budget and get this money. And then I might circle back to you. But you know what? I don't have time because I was looking for her place, but they're not going to communicate that thing to you. Not necessarily. And so it's that kind of ness. And so that's why I said at least two real estate agents. So that way, and I'll still be looking myself, and just be like, hey, so I see this. Can y'all secure this for me? Can you do this for me? So it's a work in progress. I mean, it's a thing. Like I've never been to Mexico before 2022 when I got here for the very first time, right? I have a lot of shit to learn, right? I'm not going to know all these things. I'm not going to know all the ins and outs. And again, that's why I pay people, to help me with some things and to fast track some things and whatever the case is. But there's still potential for you falling through some cracks. There's still potential for you getting got. Like there's still potential for things just not going the way that you had envisioned them, right? And so excuse me, it can be a combination of um, listening to intuition and ignoring intuition, right? It can be a combination of a whole lot, right? We'll just say a whole lot because I don't want to say too much. So that's essentially what I wanted to say. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, y'all put it in the comment section. No, I am not going to say any of the people that I worked with, but I have worked with quite a few people. Yeah, quite a few people. And I will say that it is still good for you to continue learning as you are here, whether you are taking in what other YouTubers say or whatever the case is, have still learn and don't rely heavily on other people. I mean, again, I'm putting my videos out there. I'm telling you what has happened to me. And I guess for some of you, you're just like kick rocks. But now that you're hearing, like, oh, she did have people working with her. Oh, shit. And that still happened to her. Now you probably like, oh, let me go listen to what she said. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not out here like just bad. Like I am knowing when I need help and reaching out for help. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's a great outcome. Sometimes it's less than, but I feel like I can learn from every situation, and learning from every situation allows me to be a better person at the end of the day. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, hit the notification bell, y'all. Okay, until next time. Bye, y'all.